The shape may look a little bit familiar, maybe just slightly extended, because we all know Mazda's Kodo design and the CX5, which has been around for quite a while, and it's been a mainstay of the Mazda range for quite a long time in South Africa. Yet what I do find interesting is the timeless elegance of the design and the fact that although the CX5 has been around for quite a while, it still looks fresh, still looks modern, and the sales prove that point. Well, this is the bigger brother that was launched in South Africa not long ago, the CX60. Kodo design still there, but it's the CX5 a little bit larger. Can I just simply say it that way? A couple of interesting features. You can see, of course, the grille over here, the daytime running lights that actually cut slightly into the front grille. Just something quite unusual, if you ask me. But it works, it's effective, it looks very neat. Your LED headlights, it's features like that that you expect, of course. Very, very prominent, nice, big 20-inch alloy wheels over here. And the mags, the alloys look the part, they match the car very, very nicely. You come along over here, you've got all the expected black cladding that you expect on a family SUV, and it certainly is all there. And you've of course got unlocking just at the touch of the door handle. So let's have a look inside the rear quickly, because now, as I said, it's CX5 with a bit more space. So let's look in the back seat and see how much room is there for rear seat passengers. Driver's seat, as always, is set for myself, as you expect. Pretty stretch out legroom, that's for sure. Headroom is plentiful for me. And let's look over here. Well, you've got aircon vents for the rear seat, and you've got 2 USBs for the back seat. Now, while I'm on the USBs, let me point out something about this car that I did find during the test. See, those are USB-Cs. In front, you've also got 2 USB-Cs. There's no USB-As in this car. So if you're slightly old-fashioned or use Android, you may have to get a little conversion or extra cable, because you can't just plug your phone straight in, which is a bit of a nuisance, I'm sorry to say, Mazda, and a little point that I did find, can I say, picky for myself. You come around to the rear, you've got the slightly smoked tail lights running nicely, quite sharply into the tailgate over there. All looks extremely neat, and of course, as you would expect, powered tailgate. Let's lift up over here, you can see, and you've got a space saver spare wheel over there, which is an 18-incher, but I don't think that matters. But what is more important is that's your amplifier system for the upgraded Bose sound system. As I think you're aware by now, when you go into the upper models in the Mazda ranges, you do get really good Bose sound systems as standard. Also note the luggage shelf. It's a soft one, but it's the one that attaches over there, so it lifts right up. So in other words, I don't have to stress over it for the boot test. And I can tell you, this is very definitely at least a 1.5 Allen boot. Very comfortably, it's a good sized boot. And of course, remember, you can fold down the rear seats in 3 parts, in fact, because your middle section there as well. And look here, I've just discovered along the way on the test, pull that lever and kaboom, there goes your back seat. Don't put mother-in-law sitting in the back when you try and drop the seat. You've even got a 12-volt socket in the boot area as well for using if you maybe go camping out, whatever you want to do with the car. There you go. Press the button to close the tailgate, as I'm sure you're used to, and let's look at the badges. Skyactiv G, in other words, it's petrol powered. This is powered by the Mazda's 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, also used in 1 or 2 of the CX5 models. Puts out 141 kilowatts, 261 newton meters of torque. And at last, Mazda have gone up to an 8-speed auto with this. Nice, smooth, comfortable, etc., etc. Now, what I want to tell you is there are 2 models in the CX60 range at the moment in South Africa. Dynamic and individual as we are in right now. One of the ways you'll know it's the individual before you know anything else from the outside is the fact all-wheel drive. The dynamic is front-wheel drive. Do you need it? Do you want it? Those are the choices you make, and it's obviously going to affect the price you pay. Let's check it out on the road. Let's have a look at a lot of features inside.
My name is Michael Pashut, and I'm the proud owner of Change Cars and the host of the TV show All Things Motoring. But I'm even prouder today to say that I work with Alan Rosenmeyer from Motor Matters, better known as the man with a hat. If you're looking for the best reviews on all new vehicles, Motor Matters. If you're looking for the best deals on new or used cars, changecars.co.za, where every car is sold by a 5-star rated manufacturer approved dealer.
It's Sunday, we're out on a Motor Matters road trip. Just been to Harties, Hartbeespoort in case you don't know what Harties is, and we've stocked up at our favorite co-op for fruit and veg, etc, etc. Boot is massive on this Mazda CX60, so we put lots into it, and this car is smooth. It's a cruiser, it's relaxed, it's comfortable. It's that new bigger SUV from Mazda, quite a bit bigger than the CX5, and that at the moment it's only available with the 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, 141 kilowatts, 261 newton meters of torque, all-wheel drive, 8-speed, not the old 6-speed Mazda used in all the other models, 8-speed automatic that you don't, well, certainly not in normal mode, comfort mode, whatever you want to call it, you do not feel a gear shift. It is really nice and smooth. There is hopefully the diesel version coming soon, which I think will be even nicer. Just a bit more torque, etc. in it. 184 kilowatts they're talking about on that one, so that'll be fun when it arrives. But the other side of the CX60, particularly on the individual model as we're in, which is the one that has all-wheel drive, it also has lots of other tech that you will see in the video. For example, facial recognition, where you program it and it will remember the setting for seat, mirrors, even your favorite radio station, etc. You can set it up, talk about an individualized setting for you when you get into the car, and it'll just move everything to you as soon as it scans your face and picks you up. But what I'm really enjoying right now is just this country cruise out in the fresh air in the country, as we do so often, and taking a nice car like this on a relaxed Sunday cruise. Jumping in behind the wheel, we look at the instrumentation. It's fairly basic, but you know what? It's clear, it's crisp, it's easy. We've done 355 kilometers on this test, and there's my other somewhat picky point about this car, is that number over there. Now, we did our trip to Harties, and the rest has been urban, 9.2 liters per 100. Well, if you consider it's big, it's fairly heavy, and it's got that, can I call it lugging 2.5 litre 4-cylinder engine, I suppose it's okay, but I would expect slightly better consumption than that. I've got to be honest with you, and I'm sorry, I know I'm moaning about something. The 8-speed automatic transmission does have tiny little paddles behind the steering wheel, but you know what, paddles are paddles and they do work. And now, again, because I'm going to be pointing out a lot of the differences between dynamic and individual for you, active cruise control. Very important in my book. That's it, the buttons over there. Now you get, again, lane departure warning, cross traffic warning. All those you get as well that are on the individual and not necessarily on the dynamic. So in other words, as the buzzword has become lately, you get the full ADAS system on this one, which you don't necessarily get on dynamic. You know, I like that, and you know that's very important to me. So you've got that nice big screen, and really nice on this car is you've got good buttons and controls for your entire aircon, dual zone aircon climate control system. A strange feature is over here, there's a space over here, but it's not big enough for a phone. So obviously what Mazda want you to do is put your phone inside your armrest, which has those two USB-Cs I mentioned earlier. So a bit of a strange one, and interestingly as well, unless I've missed something, there isn't wireless Android Auto connectivity. But anyway, you do have a button over here, which is for your sport mode, your multi-mode for the transmission, which I'll be honest, it's sport, normal, or even an off-road setting. I've got to be honest with you, I never even touched it during this test. I left it where it was. You've got that nice buzzy effect, obviously from Mazda, even with the 8-speed box. You've got a downhill descent control if you want, and over here, interestingly, the screen is not a touch screen. You use this controller for scrolling through the screen. I think I like it. Personally, maybe I've got shorter arms than some people, but for me to reach a screen for touching always means I've got to adjust my seating position, whereas with this, it's right there, it's right next to me, and to me it's actually nice and easy. And of course, press that button, and one of the features you do have is full navigation built into the car, and oh, by the way, it also has a heads-up display I like as well. Now, one of the really fancy, nice features on individual is, just bring the camera there again, that over there is actually a camera built into the infotainment screen. That camera has a facial recognition function. You can go delve into menu after menu. I'm not going to do it now. You know me when it comes to menus. But you go into a menu when you buy your car, and it can take, I think, 4 settings of different drivers. So in other words, you and the wife can do this separately. You go in, it picks up your face and picks up all your settings. I'm talking your seat position, your seat height, your steering wheel adjustment, which by the way has both rake and reach electric. So just press the button there and it moves forward, backward, whatever you want. It picks up that. It even picks up your favorite radio stations, exterior mirrors, the works. So you get in the car, you start the engine, and it sets the car for you once you've programmed it. I love it. I think that is just so lekker. Standard on both models is the panoramic sunroof with a very small front opening section, but I don't open the roofs. I just love the extra light of opening the screen. That's me. Now, CX60 to me, soft touch premium. Mazda stated they wanted to go premium. And to me, this is another example of them achieving that goal. And they've achieved it so well and so nicely. I mentioned earlier, you get the upgraded Bose sound system. You've got full leather trim. You've got it all. It really does feel premium. So what's the damage? What's the price? Well, the dynamic, let's start there, is 750,000 Rand. The individual adds 95,000 Rand to the price. It sounds like a lot until you start delving into all the extras you get, like all-wheel drive. So there's an off-road setting, but to me, all-wheel drive is way more important as a safety feature on wet roads, in bad conditions, if you do dirt roads, not for off-roading. But that's up to you, I suppose. But you get also the full ADAS system, all those extra safety features, the active cruise control. You get the heads-up display. You get that facial recognition system. You start putting all of that together. I'll be honest with you. If I was buying a CX60, I would want the individual. That's me. You can choose for yourself and make your own decision. At that price, there are very few competitors that offer all of this. I'm trying to think, probably the Hyundai Tucson N-Line is about the closest because it does give all-wheel drive and a few other things, although of course it's got the 2-litre diesel engine and not a petrol engine. But that's just on 800,000 Rand. So there's not a massive difference there. A lot of people have commented that they think the 2.5-litre engine is not quite suited to this car. Look, it's not a car to race around in. It's a car to cruise in. And I would cruise to Durban any day of the week in this car because it'll sit at the national speed limit very, very comfortably and all day long and very happily. There is a diesel coming. There's a hybrid coming, V6s. But you don't know what price they're going to come at. But I've got to say, Mazda have impressed me for a long time, and this is yet another one that does impress me. So if you're looking for a biggish medium family SUV, put this on your shortlist and go and drive one, and then make your decision. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.